The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning. How do you deal with duplicate records in workbooks, which can inevitably happen when you end up with duplicate contacts, duplicate organizations, maybe from an import, maybe two people typing in the same record, but with some subtle differences between the two records. Maybe you have an older record in the CRM system and then someone enters in a newer record for them, not knowing that the older record exists. These things will happen with any CRM system, but Workbooks gives you really easy ways of managing those duplicates and making sure your database is clean, because it's imperative that you are always being vigilant with your CRM system and making sure that you hop on these duplicate records. So it's quicker to, when you spot them, deal with them, and Workbooks gives you some really easy ways of managing those duplicate records. So good morning, my name is Tim Wilmot and I'm joined by my colleague Peter Johnson and our company Wizard Systems. We're a specialist CRM systems supplier, independent CRM solution supplier of systems like Workbooks. And we mainly help small and mid-sized organizations improve their sales, marketing and customer service productivity through solutions like Workbooks. So thanks for joining us this morning for our regular series of training sessions, normally on a weekly basis. We missed out last week because of holidays, but we are focusing every week on different topics in and around Workbooks to make sure that you get most, certainly if you're a Workbooks user, to make sure you get the most out of the system and you're fully aware of all of its capabilities. Now this session will be about 10 minutes, quarter of an hour in duration, just really a sort of overview of how to, the whole process of managing and preventing duplicate records. At my company, Wizard Systems, we offer lots of training and help options to make sure that if you want to dig deeper into this capability, please contact us. Now, the audio part of this presentation is one way only. If you've got a question, please type those into the question box on the meeting control panel. We'll answer those at the end. Also, at the end, I'll give you an update on any Workbooks product news, but a new version coming up. And this call is being recorded. After the presentation, you will get an email with a link to the recording, and you can play that back as many times as you want to. And it'll be up on our YouTube channel as well. Just go to Wizard Systems, or up on YouTube, search for a channel called Wizard Systems, all one word, and you'll see a Workbooks playlist up there of lots of other interesting Workbooks topics. Okay, so just a brief mention about Wizard Systems. We're a long-standing CRM solutions provider. We provide any kind of help around Workbooks, consultation to make sure the system is set up entirely to your requirements, the implementation, the training. Training is online at the moment, and ongoing help desk support as well. We want to make sure that we're partnering fully with you to make sure you get the most out of your investment in Workbooks. Okay, so I'm now going to pass over to my colleague Peter, and Peter will take you through a little demo of merging records.
Okay, good morning, Tim. Let me just go into my Workbook system. So hopefully, Tim, you can see and hear me.
Yes.
Great, and good morning to everybody that's attending today. It's nice to see a good few and some of those regulars as well. As Tim mentioned, we're going to have a look at duplicate records within your Workbook system. I thought I'd just split this into three different areas. The capability in the software to merge duplicate records if you spot them, so one or more of those into one record. How to, or the tools that are there to prevent creation when you're adding new records. Just talk about the little menu that pops up so that you don't create duplicates. And then using some of the report functionality to have a look at the whole database and see if you can spot any potential duplicates that you can then go and visit and assess and then merge them in that first process that I'm going to show you. So we're going to start off with that first process. Now, in the system, it does help and try to spot duplicates in the system, and it does this both on people and organizations actually. So I actually got an example here that I knew was in here. So I'm going to just go to this Alice Morgan record, and you can see if I open Alice's record, there's an orange block at the top here, a quick button here, and that's orange because it's spotted a potential duplicate record. Now, the system itself will look for these as you go on a record. If it knows or if it spots a record, a person that may be a duplicate, and for that it uses the unique ID of the email address. So if it spots a couple of records with the same email address, then you will get this block here that allows you to spot the duplicate, or it spots the duplicate, and then you can merge it, which I'll show you how to do. It also does this at the organization level. At the organization level, obviously, there's no email address, so it actually does this by, it actually removes common suffixes off of a company name, limited, corporation, corp, LTD, and so forth. And then it does a begins with type search on that company name. So Hamilton Inc. and Hamilton Limited would be a spotted duplicate record on an organization. Okay, so let's have a look at how to deal with this. If you do go to a record, you've got this orange block. Incidentally, this does need switching on as a capability for a user. So you don't have to present this to all users, but those that can manage the data. If I click on this, you can see here it's actually found the same email address in the system, but actually it's got a record for Alice Danes. So I'm assuming in this example that maybe Alice has got married and made changed her maiden name to a married name and so forth. So I can see here there's a duplicate record. I can select that to be merged with the current record that I've got open. And you can see here I can select records that are not duplicates, so I can actually go and do a search and select ones and mark them as no, this isn't a duplicate. So if I were to click this, it would say no, Alice Danes is not a duplicate record. I'm happy with that in the system, and then it won't be highlighted in the future. I can also do a search to find similar records. If I know there's an Alice Morgan in there that hasn't got an email address, for example, I can search for that record and add it to this list to select these and then merge the selected records. So this button over on the right here allows me to take the record that I've selected and merge it into the record that I currently have open. But you do get a little choice along the way here. If I click that, you can see here it's actually got both records compared side by side here, and we have these little radio buttons. So in here I could say, well, actually Alice Danes is her new name, so I don't want Alice Morgan, I'm going to stick with Alice Danes, and I can do this for the whole of each of the records on the primary fields, and then when I choose next, it's showing me what this record's going to look like, and I'm going to merge it. And yes, I really want to do that. And here is that new record. Now, what I didn't do was bring across the Danes bit into the surname. So I can obviously select this and choose the Danes in here and update the record accordingly. But you'll notice at the top here that it hasn't got the orange bit because it hasn't found a duplicate, because there's only one Alice record now with that email address. So really simple. I just wanted to start off by showing you how to merge the records when you find them, because in the system we need to go and have a look for some and see if there are any more. So the next thing I think is adding records. So if you were to add a record, let's show you this. I'm going to select here the email address. So I'm going to go and accidentally, on purpose, add a new person record in the system. And if I do this, and if I go and add the email address, and I pop in a name here, Alice, and go to save this, you can see what we get presented at the top of the screen here. Because it recognizes that email address, there's a few options here. Do not add this person and close. Go, oh, I made a mistake there. I don't want to add this record, so just reverse what I've done. Add this person and close. So really, yes, I know about this duplicate. Sorry, add this person and close. So yes, I want to add this and then close the record. I'm very happy with the record coming in there and want to do that. Or I want to add this person and then carry on and continue working on it in that way. So obviously I've got my normal process buttons as well. I can though navigate to the matching record and see it if I wanted to, so I can open the record that it has found there and continue to work. Okay, so in this example, I'm going to do not add this record and close, and I'm back to where we are. So just be aware that your users do get that message up on the screen. So if you do find some duplicates, you might want to see, if you wanted to, who created the record and when. So you can actually have a look at any record in the system, and this is available throughout. If you go to this little I button over here, you can actually track back if you want to see who it was created, when, and so forth. So you can actually maybe deliver some extra training or some information about why that was done. Okay, so merging using that button, spotting them if you're adding them. Next, we're going to have a quick look at some of the reporting that you can do in the system. Now, those of you that are familiar with reporting, I don't know whether you've thought about a way of spotting duplicate records. You can actually group on fields. So you could actually group on email address and find how many times that particular email address occurs. So that may help you find some of the records that are possible duplicates. But those reports are manually built. You can go and create those, or there are some templates that they give you which you could tweak yourself a little bit if you wanted to. So let's have a look. So I've gone into the reports area. I've chosen new report. I don't often go into this create via a template. I usually use these others, but Workbooks have provided you with a few ones that check for duplicates. So let's go and see what's available. So here's a list of the templates. I'm going to just filter this to make this a little easier. So I'm going to do template name contains dupe. Let's have a look. And here, yeah, here's some templates to help us start. So you can see here possible duplicate people. Let's see how that's built and what it looks like. There's also one for organizations where it does remove that suffix and any prefixes and does a contains or begins with, and then leads as well. It's looking at based on first and last names and so forth. So let's have a look at this people one, and then let's just test dupe people. Oh, there we go. And well, you can see straight away, I'm still in the design part of this, but if I load this preview, this lists everybody in the details and all the information that we need, and then matching person name, matching email address. So let's have a look at that matching email address and load this preview. And in the system here, it's found in the whole system that there are two. So this is anything above a 1, really, because obviously it's going to find lots of email addresses. But if it counts the same email address twice, then it's going to show up, or twice or more in here, and tell you how many it's found. So it looks like here there's a couple of James K at workbooks.com. If I in the normal way for a report to drill into this email address, you can see here, yes, there are in fact 2 records for James, and if I click on one of these, no doubt when we got there, it would navigate and highlight that orange button that I suggested earlier, so you can do that particular merge again. So you can see it's really useful to be able to run and design a report that you can keep an eye on and see. So we've got Harrison here as well. So if I zoom in here, you can see straight away if you have some duplicate information in the system. Yes, somebody's done a very poor job at bringing those, creating those records with a poor name, but the email address is the same. And let's see if we've got any matching person names as an example. If I load that preview, now clearly you're going to get the same name over and over at times, but you know, I should imagine this Joe Bloggs is a simple one there, but you can see there are 3 James Smiths, for example, and you can zoom in, just check these out, and if you design the report right, you can see, well, actually, these are most likely different James Smiths. They work for different people and so forth, so I'm happy with those. And they haven't got the same email address. Let's just do a very quick one then on organization. So let's have a look at creating a new report. Same again, I'm going to go and use a template report. I'm going to do that little filter again just to help me out to find these. So what I'm doing here is finding any report template name with this text in it and possible duplicate organizations. Let's take a look. And let's see what kind of information. I'm going to save and run this one just so you can see it. Typical reports here. So in this system, we have, I'm going to stretch this out a little bit so you can see, based on a cleansed name. So in here, it's found 2 that have a similar name, Atlantic, in it. Let's take a look. If I just drill into these company names that it's found Atlantic, you can see here it's found Atlantic Limited dot and Atlantic Limited. Looks like these both are the same. So if we were to go into one of these, you can see again, there are 5 actually. It's found 5 possible duplicates for Atlantic. Let's take a quick look, and here they all are, the possible ones, but I'm actually convinced that this one and is the duplicate, and maybe this one as well. And then I could merge those 3 records into one. So you can see here how reports, if you design some clever reports, it's really useful and easy to find those possible duplicate records in the system. So if you're not familiar with reports, of course, come and speak to us and we can help with some ideas and a bit of guidance on those. But those templates are an ideal start point if you would like to do some searching and reporting for yourselves. Okay, so a quick visit there, merging them, taking those records, preventing it when you're creating those one by one, and then using reports to search the system and find some possible duplicates. Tim, so have you got any anything to add to that, Tim, at all?
Yeah, well, just before we get into the question section, those listening live, you'll be familiar with the format. We go through our topic of the week and then we answer your questions. But we do have a new release of workbooks coming out this Saturday, 19th of September. So workbooks will be intermittently out of action between 6 a.m. and 8 a.m. UK time on Saturday, 19th of September. And in this release, you will get notification, I believe, from the workbooks mailing system, but there's going to be a new card view. customization options. The card view is quite a nice little sort of business card. Here we go. Quite a nice sort of business card summary of a contact record, just to give you a sort of heads up of the key information, a bit more sort of visually appealing record. Secondly, there's freeze columns on your landing pages and reports. Thirdly, this sounds interesting, a new hamburger button for easier tab navigation. So that looks quite interesting to play around with. And lastly, edit multiple records at once using the new edit grid option on landing pages. There we go there. We'll feature these on.
I'm really looking for that.
We'll feature these on new up and coming weekly training sessions, but watch out for that. It will be coming to you next week, that new release, and slight downtime. I'm sure you won't be working between 6 a.m. and 8 a.m. UK time on a Saturday morning, but just in case you are, just be aware of intermittent provision of the service. So questions. There's, I think it's just one question from Roy. We have a customer account number. Can I see if it's duplicated? Peter?
Hi, sorry, I was muted whilst you were talking away there, Tim.
He muted himself.
Thank you. Yeah. Yes. So the answer to that is yes. It's by dealing with those reports. Now, the way these reports are built is that you select the field that you want to search on, if you like, and group it together, and then do a count. In fact, if I go to the email address here, let me. So I haven't got an account number, but let's think of something that's quite unique that we could track. Okay, so in this report, I'm just a brief one here. I'm going to add a mobile number, be a good one to just check to see whether there are any duplicates. So when you're building your summary part of the report, if you're familiar with this, you group on that particular field. So this view is currently grouped on email address, but if I just change that for the mobile that I've added to the main part of this and do a save and close, if I refresh a preview now, you can see here it's gone through the system. So this would be, was it Roy? You would put your organization account number in there and see if it comes up with more than one. And if I drill into this, you can see here, actually, yes, there's those two James K records appear to have the same mobile number. Yeah, good question.
Okay, don't think there's any more questions coming through there. So thanks very much for those of you attending live. We will catch up with you same time next week for another Workbooks topic. Here's our contact details. My email address, tim@wizard-systems.com. If you've got any ideas for future Workbooks topics like this, please drop us a line, myself or Peter, and pop up to our YouTube channel location as well, Wizard Systems, all one word, where you'll see a Workbooks playlist up there of loads of other Workbooks topics. So thanks very much for watching. Those listening in live, we will catch up with you same time next week. Thanks very much indeed. Bye-bye.